Hi, good people. What's up? How are you doing? Hope you're all doing well. Welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Mary the Marketer, and as you can see from today's background, I'm not from my usual space. This is because we're talking about black tax, and tax is basically the amount of money we as black professionals or other African kids are expected to pay back to the community, in terms of educating our siblings, giving a coin or two to our extended families, and most of the ones in rural areas. So let's get straight into this. What's your view on black tax? Have you experienced it as a person, or has your friend, colleague, or other family members experienced it? And what's their view basically about it? The general perception. Because if I were to give a personal experience, I feel like at some point it has hit me in one way or another, especially as a victim. At times you tend to find our parents, they're always looking up to you, and they will indirectly try to tell you, hey, you need to do this or that. You feel like it's a responsibility, where else it's not necessarily it. They don't officiate it, but at the same time they're just trying to tell you indirectly that, hey, you need to do this or the other, just because these people are your siblings, or they're part of your family. And I feel most of the extended family, but of course at some point it also affects the nuclear or our immediate family members. So let's get down into how to navigate, or rather the approach towards black tax. And there's a disclaimer here. I'm not against anybody who is affected, or rather who contributes to the black tax. I feel it's like, it's open-ended in terms of you can either go for it, fall for it, or opt out. I think it's a topic that is open to discussion, though at some point I feel it's generational, like it's passed on, and we've probably outgrown that culture. Because if you look at the current economic status, guys, it's not as easy. And of course it doesn't mean since it's not easy for us, it's easier for them. Of course it's two-way traffic, but we just need to be considerate and forge ahead. So the first thing to consider, or the first approach, is disclose to your family members, or rather your dependents of this black tax, your income. How much do you earn, and how often do you earn? Because at some point I feel you need to budget, or rather fix them in your budget, so that you're able to accommodate them. Because I feel you may not be able to wholesomely avoid the contribution, but you just need to have a picture of your earnings, your sources of income, if it's continuous, if it's seasonal, occasional, so that they also understand, and they might not have too high demands. And in this case, I would wish you had a fixed amount that you contribute, and mostly per month, or even seasonally after like 3 months, or okay, of course there are recurrent expenditures here and there, but I feel per month is a good minimum. So in this case, you can try just tell them you have your own bills, you have your own expenditure, so this is the only amount you can afford to give them, so that in this case they're also able to budget with that particular amount of money. Probably add up whatever they earn themselves, then add the little or the much you also contribute to them. And by this you'll be peaceful, you'll have easy time. They might not even expect money in between, because even in their mind they'll be set that this money comes periodically. So if I ask for money before, I might not get it, because that other person has other activities. One thing, or rather, on how we can navigate black tax is by having an emotionally stable mindset, or rather mind. You should avoid scenarios of being too much emotional. Maybe somebody just calls you from the blue moon and tells you, hey Mary, this and this came up, and you try pending, or rather you get deviated, and you might feel like, oh my God, like, yes, this person, I'm the only last hope, or rather something. You should consider what they're talking about. Is it necessary? Is it a luxury? Is it a need? Is it a want? Because at the end of the day, some of them tend to take advantage. They'll be like, hey, I know Mary is, she's good, her personality, in case I tell her something, could be even a lie, she'll fall for it. So we need to be we need to be emotionally stable, learn to control our emotions and those related to how we, resonate with other people. Let people understand that, okay, yes, or rather the person know, yes, I'm emotional, I can handle this or not. You'll end up, dishing out money like never before. And at the end of the day, you'll be left suffering or crying on your own. So just be emotionally stable and understand. Just understand that not every situation requires you, or rather requires you to chip in. Another approach, good people, is the sense of entitlement. Some of these dependents of our, the money we give out as African kids tend to feel like they're entitled, That's a feeling of ownership, or rather, it's my right. It has to come through. Let them know they're not entitled. In any case, you're just helping out anyway. You're just doing it out of your kind-heartedness, out of your good heart. We're going to whereby you learn to say no politely. It might sound rude to them, but at the end of the day, you know your goals and you know what you need to achieve. Tell them, no, it's not possible this time. Can you give me more time? Are you willing to wait? Because you realize some of them even have loans, or they'll take loans and have debts all over, knowing this person will come through. Let them know. You're just doing it out of, goodwill, not just because you're helping them out, You're just doing it out of, you don't want to see them suffer. You don't want to be flourishing yet they're poor, they're dying hungry, or whatever it is. The last but not least approach is communication with your siblings. This will help avoid, rivalry, competition amongst, your siblings. For example, you realize in a family of, let's say, 5, so 3 are the ones who basically contribute to the black tax. And in this case, of course, the earnings are different, the contributions are different. So in a case scenario, are probably earning, let's say, 30,000. Then another one is earning 90,000. Another one is earning, over 200,000. Let's get a percentage, Let's agree, me, I'm going to be contributing this amount, you're going to be bringing this, that pool of funds. It will help, because it is very unfair. The person, earning the least, maybe 30,000, probably ends up contributing 3/4 of their, of what they earn, just because the rest are probably just there and doing nothing about it, or rather expecting, we are the boss, we are bigger, we are earning more, so it's us against us. No. Agree, communicate, discuss about it. Just say, we'll be contributing like 100,000 in a month. So let person A bring their 50,000, person B bring their 20,000, and the one earning the most, also brings in their share. So that at the end of the day, nobody feels oppressed, and the roles are shared out easily, such that everyone will progress together. Something else on these notes, educate these people. Teach them how to come up with sustainable, projects, and especially agribusiness, now that it's coming up very well, talk to them about it, educate them. Some even have things they can turn into money, or other projects within, home, they can turn into money, but they're sleeping on them. But it's just because they do not know, you see. So the moment you make them understand, or at least that they're happy having to ask, people for money every other time, even them, they want their own money, which they can regulate, and spend anyhow they want. Teach them something nice, and at the end of the day, you realize they will even end up sending you money, other than vice versa. Thank you so much for tuning in. Until next time, see you guys. I love you. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Bye.